Welcome back, Bob.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
We've missed you on the video. Wouldn't it be great to play the Jets every game?
Yeah,
Imagine
undefeated.
every single week you could play the Jets with an offense like that. Anytime their quarterback gets some momentum, they bring in another quarterback.
Yeah.
Anytime they do something right, they'd change it. They'd be real soft in special teams and things like that.
An opponent that helps you win. Yeah,
It'd be very cool because it almost felt like the Jets were doing that a little bit. And really, credit the Seahawks for all of it. Even the New York papers would be notorious for ripping the Jets for such a lame effort and everything like that, kind of acknowledged. And Rex Ryan talked about it being just a brutal, brutal game. They really were wiped out in that game. And a return to prominence might be a little bit too far, but maybe a return to where they were at the start of the year for the defense was what stuck out the most to me, I thought.
Well, they pitched a shutout.
They did.
7 points scored, but that was on a turnover, a fumble by Russell Wilson that they ran into the end zone. So the defense shut out a team, and I don't care if it's the Jets, if it's the Jags, or any other team you think stinks in the NFL. They're an NFL team, and you hear it every single week. It's a cliche, but it's true any given Sunday. And you see it every single Sunday. We talk about it all the time. How did this happen? How did that happen? How did the Rams on the road tie the 49ers? I mean, teams that have no business winning win. So you shut out a team. How often do you see 20-0? You just don't see it very often. So I think the defense is back to a certain extent. I don't know if they're back. It's a tough game to gauge because the Jets are so inept offensively. It's tough to say, well, it was 60% Seahawks, 40% them, or vice versa, whatever it was. Seahawks did their part, and they dominated a team defensively they should dominate.
I don't think they ever really lost it, but it feels to me a little bit like getting your swagger back to a degree. I mean, I think they really enjoyed the identity of the Legion of Boom, and we've heard them talk about that, and the identity that the defense is something that drives the team forward. And I know those guys, were happy sort of being the ones who were leading them to victory as it was going, and that goes away, I think, a little bit when you get gashed a little bit, when a Peterson has a game like he did, or Gore does, or you give up 300-400 yards passing. It takes a little bit of that away. I really didn't think they were keeping the points down, and they're still fifth in the league and giving up the fewest points. I didn't really think it was a big deal, but I do think they like to play with a certain kind of swagger, and I think they need to be doing things along the lines of, right, you're not going to pitch a shutout every time, but being dominant on the field. I think that feeds into the defense, so I was glad to see that.
Yeah, and I think what they did, when you hear everybody heard Pete Carroll say, guys are trying too hard, and we were trying to figure out, what do you mean they're trying too hard? And then we heard what Red Bryant said, and Cam Chancellor, who was a guest of the program. You can check out the podcast obviously on 710sports.com, but he basically said that meant guys were trying too hard in the sense that if they, the B gap is their assignment and they see somebody coming through the A gap, they leave their spot to go cover this. Don't try to do too much. And it sounds like from what he said, what Red said, that they just simplified it. Everybody just take care of what your responsibilities are and we'll be just fine, which is what they did.
And let's face it, facing Sanchez is not like facing Brady. No, it's a whole lot better. So we'd love to play you every week, Jets. Come back soon.